Hola chicos, for this first class, and since I'm not gonna be there, you're gonna start with greetings, and I'm gonna read them, and I hope you guys are able to repeat after me, and this way we can practice some pronunciation. And as we go over the vocabulary, I'm gonna mention a few things about them so you can take notes if you want to. This vocabulary it's on page eight of your book, page 8 of your book. So let's start. Well, we have polite expressions. As you know, in Spanish we use the formal. We have two forms of talk to a person, a formal and informal, and that's when we use the you. We have tú for informal and usted for the formal part. Since this class relates to the medical field, we're gonna try to keep everything in the usted to be as formal as we can, because that is how it goes with Spanish. We try to be really formal in these kind of situations. So let's start with the first word. Disculpe, perdón. Those mean excuse me. Lo siento, I'm sorry. Señorita y señora, Mrs. and Miss. Señor, Mr. Por favor, please. Gracias, it's thank you, but if you want to say thank you very much, you add muchas. Muchas gracias or gracias. And your response to this, you're welcome, it's going to be de nada. Okay? So if I say gracias, you guys are going to say de nada. Muy bien. Okay, so let's move on to the greetings. The most common word to say hi or hello is to say hola. And the response in a lot of countries is adios, but there are many others that prefer to use ciao. In my case, I use ciao more often. It's just a preference. Buenos dias we use in the mornings for good morning. It's just like in English, we use it until 11. And then we had buenas tardes, good afternoon. And then we have buenas noches. Because in Hispanic countries, we don't really deal with stations and changings of time. We don't have longer days during the winter or longer days during the summer and shorter days during the winter. We have usually like a standard 6 to 6 day. So buenas tardes is usually until 6, and after 6 we tell to use buenas noches, just because the sun. Nonetheless, we have stations here, so you can apply this rule of the sun. After the sun goes down, it's buenas noches. While the sun's still up, it's going to be buenas tardes. Unless it's the morning, then buenos dias. Okay? So I'm going to give you the chance to hear it again, and if you can, please repeat after me. Buenos días. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. And then we have hasta luego, see you later. And que tenga un buen día. Que tenga un buen día. Have a nice day. Which is something nice to say to someone when they're leaving the place you're at. Okay, introductions. Presentaciones. So when you introduce yourself, you might want to ask for their name, right? So this is how we're gonna ask someone, what's your name? ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cómo se llama? Again, we're using the formal form of the verb, the usted form. ¿Cómo se llama? Your response, you have two responses. Me llamo, my name is, mi nombre es. I'm sorry, me llamo is I am, mi nombre es, my name is. Me llamo Ana, mi nombre es Ana. Okay. ¿Cómo se llama? Me llamo Ana. And then, since we're talking about the medical field, we have some words that of professions or people that you might encounter and what their profession is. So, soy la means I am the. Soy la recepcionista. I'm the receptionist. Also notice that la implies a feminine person. So if you're a guy, soy el recepcionista. Okay? Again, the article la will mean that the profession is a female person. If you have the article el, it will mean that is a male. El recepcionista. Soy la recepcionista. Just the same case with enfermera. Enfermera means nurse. Enfermera. Soy la enfermera. I am the female nurse. If I want to say I'm the male nurse, what do you guys think it would be? Soy el, and here's the tricky part, enfermero. It's gonna be an O. For some of you that have taken Spanish before, you're just gonna remember that recepcionista remains the same because of the ista ending. It's both sexes, ista ending. RA is feminine and RO is masculine. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Doctor. Doctor. It's just the same, just with the Spanish accent. Soy el doctor. Is that female or feminine? Female or masculine? What do you guys think? Soy el doctor. Muy bien, that will be the male. What about soy la doctora? Feminine. Very well. Soy el gerente del consultorio. El gerente del consultorio. Is that masculine or feminine? El gerente. Muy bien, it's masculine. And that means office manager. If it will be a female, it will be la gerente. And sin I, so it can be either or, just like esta. Soy la especialista, o soy el especialista, the specialist. Soy el técnico, o soy la técnica. Again, NC so you can do, for female, you just change it to A. La técnica. Este es mi asistente. This is my assistant. Mucho gusto. Nice to meet you. Siéntese, por favor. Please sit down. And this is one of the things between Spanish and English happen, that we just like switch the orders of the way things are said. Just notice that I'm saying siéntese, por favor, in Spanish. Sit down, please. But you're more likely going to say it, please sit down, in English. So they just switch. So siéntese, sit down. And por favor, we have already heard that part. Please. ¿Cómo está? Oh, there's a mistake. It says ¿Cómo estás? Will be the informal form. But we're going to be formal. So, ¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está? How are you? Muy bien, gracias. What if you wanted to say the opposite? Muy bien means very good or well. What if we want to say the opposite? Because we are the doctors. What if we're not doing so well? We're going to say no muy bien. Not so good. Or we can also respond with just bien. Usted and you. Remember that we're using usted because it's the formal form. If we were be informal, we were use to. Okay, chicos. I'm gonna have an activity for you to work with, where you're gonna have to pick. It's gonna be like a multiple choice question, and you guys are gonna fill this out and bring it to class. Okay? Please, if you have questions, do not hesitate to email me. I'll be out of the country, so calling my office or stopping by wouldn't work for this week, but definitely email me. I will be completely looking at my emails all the time. So see you next week, guys. Ciao. Adios.